everyone. After the book tour, this is Nessa B. Schwartz, children's book author. And the next stop after I did my book tour was an invitation that I received from the school library journal. Now, when you're traditionally published, you're really fortunate if the school library journal invites you to an event such as this one. It's called the Day of Dialogue. It happens twice a year. It's free. It's a virtual event. A lot of librarians attend. And I was invited to share my book and have an interview with other authors that were in my same genre. And these authors were very well-established authors, ones that I had admired for years and years, and I was with them on this conference. I was just floored. But of course, as with everything that's good, something hard or terrible or bad, which this isn't really bad. Okay, we're in London here. As you can see, we're ready to take the train. I had a family vacation already in the works, paid for, in the budget, to stay on this houseboat, the La Sorelle in London, which was fantastic, amazing experience, beautiful, never done anything like this before. And I didn't want to cheat my family out of a fun vacation, but it happened to fall when I was invited at the same time as the school library journal Zoom event. So I figured it's on Zoom, I can bring my laptop on vacation, and I can do the conference from the houseboat in London. Isn't that cool? I can do a conference from a houseboat in London. Well, I don't know if that was such a great idea, as you're going to see later in this video. And I'm glad you're getting a shot of the La Sorelle so you can see what it's like, because when I did do the event on my laptop, it was in what's called the tower of this houseboat. And the tower is way up on top. Of course, it's a tower. But in order to get there, you have to go up these very narrow spiral staircase. And I could barely squeeze up there. I had my laptop, I had my notes, I had rehearsed for this interview, and it was big and a big time thing. And I tried to combine two things, family vacation and the school library journal. And it was a disaster, really. It was a disaster. But I didn't, like I said, I still wanted to enjoy the vacation. I couldn't change it. It would be too expensive to change it. I did debate doing that, but it was just too expensive. So this is the cool houseboat. I did enjoy being there, and it was a beautiful memory and experience, like I said. And if you're ever in London, check out this La Sorelle houseboat. I think it has 14 accommodations and a nice breakfast in the morning, and it was just amazing. So I ended up touring, of course, because the school library journal was on a Thursday. We arrived on a Sunday in London. And so the first thing we did was, my husband loves history, and I do too, and my son. So we went to the British Museum, and this is the library there. It's just such a fun, beautiful library. Isn't it stunning? It's very grand and elegant. So we stopped there. But of course, everything that I did to tour at the same time, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking about this school library journal thing. So I was trying to add a family vacation with work. And I wouldn't recommend that. I really would not. I would have changed the vacation and just had to pay more money, because it ended up being really difficult. So we saw the Tower of London, as you saw. We toured around. And as if you've seen my last videos, then you know that I love afternoon tea, and that wherever I go, I have afternoon tea. Well, I'm in London, and of course I'm going to have tea and have my tea time. And this one was beautiful. It was amazing. It was in a Marriott, and I'm going to look up where it's at, and I will put it in the description. If anybody wants to have tea when they're in London at this spot, I highly recommend it. There's a man wearing like a full tuxedo playing on the piano. It's very fancy schmancy, but it's just so well done, and the pastries are so good, and the tea is just exquisite. So I really loved that But I was nervous, honestly, because ta-da, of course, School Library Journal, Day of Dialogue, still looming above my head. Not in a bad way. This is an honor, guys. So anyway, here I am in the tower, okay? And like I said, I finally got up there and the Wi-Fi was bad. I was getting a sketchy connection. And the microphone on my laptop was not working. So I glitched out and they could not hear me during the conference. Not only that, because of the time difference between California and the United States and London, I messed up and I thought I had 2 hours to rehearse before the presentation when I got to the boat, but it was minutes. I was getting frantic emails from the marketing director at my publishing house who was saying, "Where are you? We're coming on in 2 minutes." So that's the way it worked. It was horrible. So there, went to Daunt Books, right after that we flew home. Virgin Atlantic, and then we went home. And yeah, bye, see you guys soon. But I'll tell you right now, when I got home, I was so frazzled. It was really a mistake to combine the two. But I will tell you that experience and interviewing with other authors for the School Library Journal's Day of Dialogue was one of the biggest honors I've had. And I was so excited. Later on, I did get a School Library Journal review to put on my book. That was